Imagine it's 2 in the morning. The baby won't stop crying. You fed them, changed them, rocked them, sung to them. Nothing works. The crying just keeps going. Every parent knows this moment. That desperate, exhausted feeling where you would try almost anything just to get 5 minutes of quiet. Now imagine someone walks in, does one simple thing, and the baby stops. Almost instantly. You'd probably think it was magic. Or maybe a trick. But what if it was actually science? Something so simple and so logical that once you understand it, you'll wonder why nobody ever explained it to you before. For most of human history, people didn't really understand why babies cry. They knew babies cried when they were hungry or cold or in pain, but beyond that, it was mostly guesswork. In older times, families would pass down remedies from generation to generation. Some would wrap the baby tightly, some would hum near the baby's ear, some would take the baby outside under the night sky. Many of these were just traditions without any real understanding behind them. The knowledge existed in pieces, scattered across cultures and centuries, but nobody had really connected all the dots. That is, until a pediatrician named Dr. Harvey Karp started paying close attention to something most people had been ignoring. Dr. Karp spent years watching babies, not just observing them casually, but studying them carefully, and he noticed something that changed the way a lot of people think about newborns. He noticed that newborns are not really ready for the outside world, not fully. A human baby, compared to the babies of most other animals, is born very early in its development. A baby horse can walk within hours of being born. A baby monkey can cling to its mother immediately, but a human newborn is almost completely helpless. Dr. Karp began calling the first 3 months of a baby's life the 4th trimester, the idea being that babies still need the kind of environment they had inside the womb. Warm, tight, full of constant motion and sound. And that is where everything starts to make sense. Most parents, when a baby cries, try to create silence and stillness. They turn off the TV, they dim the lights, they speak in whispers. The instinct makes perfect sense from an adult perspective. When we are upset, we want calm and quiet. But a baby is not an adult. A baby just spent 9 months in an environment that was loud, dark, warm, and constantly moving. The sound of blood rushing through the mother's body is actually quite loud, louder than a vacuum cleaner running in the next room. Movement never stopped. The womb was never still. So when a baby is born and suddenly placed in a quiet, open, motionless space, it doesn't feel safe. It feels wrong, and so they cry. Dr. Karp developed what he called the 5 S's, 5 specific things that recreate the feeling of the womb, and when done together in the right way, they trigger what he called the calming reflex, a real biological reflex that almost every healthy newborn has. The 5 things are swaddling, which means wrapping the baby snugly so their arms cannot flail around freely, side or stomach position while being held, because lying flat on the back can feel unsettling to a crying baby, shushing, which means making a steady, loud shushing sound right near the baby's ear, not gentle whispering, but a real, firm shush that matches or slightly exceeds the baby's crying. Swinging, which means small, fast, jiggly movements, not slow rocking. And finally, sucking, which means offering a pacifier or a finger to suck on. When you do all 5 of these things together and you do them correctly, the effect can be almost immediate. The baby does not just calm down slowly, they often stop mid-cry, as if a switch was flipped. The reason this is not common knowledge comes down to how parenting information travels. Most of what parents learn comes from their own parents, their community, and their culture. If the people around you were taught that quiet and stillness soothe the baby, that is what you will try. And sometimes it works, because some babies calm down no matter what. But when it doesn't work, parents blame themselves. They think something is wrong with them or their baby. The reality is that the instinct most adults have is almost the opposite of what a newborn actually needs. Understanding this also removes a lot of unnecessary guilt. A baby crying in the night is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of biology. A newborn is searching for the feeling of a world they just left, and they don't have the words to ask for it. The moment you understand that a crying baby is not being difficult, but is actually disoriented, everything changes. You stop fighting the cry and start speaking the baby's language. That is the real trick. Not some mysterious medical secret, but a simple shift in perspective. The womb was loud, warm, and full of motion. The baby misses it. Give them a little of it back, and they will feel safe again. If this gave you even one moment of clarity that you didn't have before, pass it on to someone who might need it tonight. And if you want to keep learning the surprising logic hidden behind everyday things, stick around. There's always more beneath the surface than most people realize.